I'm in the Black Hills right now, and this is some of my favorite ground to hike. Rock everywhere, great to walk on. You get grip, you get solid footing, and you get a view you don't get anywhere else. The trail's harder, but it's better. A rocky relationship with your agency is a different thing entirely. Same word, opposite feeling. So let's talk about that. I'm going to walk through 5 signs an agency relationship is drifting, and I want to be straight with you about something up front. Almost none of this is because somebody stopped caring about you. It's structural. Accounts drift for boring reasons, and the drift is usually fixable if you catch it early. I've been on both sides of this. Client side, I hired agencies and fired a few. Agency side, I've run books of business since 2006, and I've watched accounts slide when nobody was paying attention. The first one's the most common, and it's the one clients feel before they can name it. The people who pitched you aren't around anymore. The senior person who was in every early call now shows up quarterly, if that. Your day to day contact is somebody you've never talked to about the business, only about deadlines. Here's why it happens, and it's rarely sinister. Agency staff to feed. When your account was new, it got attention because new accounts always do. Then somebody won a bigger piece of business, and the senior people got pulled toward it, and your account got backfilled with whoever had capacity. Nobody decided you mattered less. Nobody had that meeting. It just happened, one staffing decision at a time. What you do about it, ask for a staffing conversation, not an apology. Say you want to understand who's on the account now, what each person does, and how much of their week you're getting. Then ask who's accountable for the relationship overall. A well run agency will answer that in a couple of minutes, and honestly, they should be glad you asked because that question usually triggers an internal look at whether you've been underserviced. I've had clients ask me that, and it fixed things faster than a complaint would have. Second sign, the reporting shifted from outcomes to activity. You used to hear about cost per customer and revenue. Now you hear about the number of posts published, emails sent, creative variations tested, hours logged, all real work. None of it tells you whether your business is better off. This one's almost always a symptom of something upstream. When results are strong, agencies lead with results because that's the best thing they've got to say. When results soften, the reporting quietly fills up with effort. It's not deception, it's people wanting to show you they haven't been sitting still. The problem is that once a relationship runs on activity reporting, both sides lose the plot. You stop being able to judge the work, and they stop being pushed to change it. What you do, ask for one page in front of the deck with the numbers your business actually runs on and the direction they've moved over the last 90 days. Say you still want the detail behind it, you just want the headline first. If those numbers are ugly, that's a real conversation, and it's a better one than another month of slide count. Third one, this is the one most owners never notice, and it's the one I'd worry about most. Think back to early on. They probably pushed back on something, told you the idea wouldn't work, or the budget was wrong for it, or the timeline was fantasy. Maybe it annoyed you a little. Now, everything you suggest is a good idea. Every request gets a yes. Meetings are pleasant, and nothing gets debated. That feels like a good relationship. It's usually a symptom of disengagement. Pushback costs something. It takes thinking about your business, forming a view, and being willing to have an uncomfortable 10 minutes. When people stop investing that, they don't announce it. They just get agreeable. There's another version of this that isn't the agency's fault at all, and I've seen it plenty. Sometimes a client punished honesty. Somebody pushed back once, it went badly, and the team learned to stop. If your last 3 disagreements ended with the agency backing down fast, ask yourself whether you trained that. What you do, ask directly, tell them what you're planning, and ask what they'd change about it if it were their money. Then let them actually answer, and don't defend the idea for a minute. If nothing comes back, you've learned something. If something does come back, you've just restarted the part of the relationship that was worth paying for. Fourth, early on, they wanted to know everything: your margins, your best customers, what happens after the lead comes in. what your sales team hears on the phone. Now the conversation stays inside the marketing channel. Ad performance, creative approvals, next month's calendar. When an agency stops asking about your business, they're managing a channel instead of working on your company. And a channel manager can only optimize what they can see, which is why you can end up with a beautiful cost per lead and a sales team complaining that none of them are any good. Here's the part where I'll be fair to the agency. Sometimes they stopped asking because the answers stopped coming. Access to real numbers is a two-way street, and plenty of clients keep their agency at arm's length and then wonder why the work feels generic. What you do, invite them back in. Give them your close rate and your average customer value, and if you can, get them on a call with whoever handles inbound. The good ones will do something with that inside a month. And if you've been holding that information back, this is the fix that changes the most, faster than any campaign change would. Last one. Look at the last few things that got built and ask who thought of them. If every idea in the last 6 months started with you asking for it, you're not working with a partner. You're working with a very responsive production shop. Some of that's fine. Execution is a real service, and there's nothing wrong with buying it. But if you thought you were buying thinking, and nothing has come across your desk that you didn't request, you're paying partner rates for order taking. Proactivity is the first thing that disappears when an account gets tight on hours or attention, because nobody's ever going to complain about the idea they didn't get. What you do, make room for it explicitly. Tell them you want one recommendation a quarter that you didn't ask for, and that it's fine if you say no to it. That last part matters. Teams stop bringing ideas when the ideas keep dying. So tell them the swing is welcome even if it misses. One more thing before you go fire anybody. Most of this is fixable with one honest conversation. I've seen accounts that look dead turn all the way around because somebody finally said out loud what wasn't working, and the agency was relieved to hear it. They usually know. They're just waiting to see if you care enough to bring it up. Switching agencies costs you 3 to 6 months of ramp, and the new one will need everything you already taught the last one. Sometimes it's the right call, but have the conversation first because it's cheap and it works more often than people expect. If you notice 2 or 3 of these on your account, that's your sign to book a real meeting, not a status call, a conversation about the relationship. I'm out here on rocks all week. Rocks are great for hiking, not such a good way to run a partnership. I'm Eric. See you out there.